that came up, explain, just is it Bank of America? You were Wachovia. Right, Wachovia. Oops, screw. It was one of the banks. Wachovia. So you could explain what it is about and why you started it.
Well, I worked at the Y for a long time in Raleigh, and had one of the most difficult things for me about working at the Y was I was in a position where we too often watched kids who had mental disabilities or severe mental handicaps get turned away from the programs because we didn't have the training to deal with them, or the ratio was not low enough to be able to give them the care that they needed. And when I came to Charlotte and started working with Autism Services of Mecklenburg County and working with Mike and the Shin family in Weddington, I thought, what a great way. I would love at some point, if it was possible, for, this one-on-one care that the government provides to be, like what I was doing here, to be available in programs like the YMCA, the Boys and Girls Club, where they have problems serving those special populations. So the Clay Aiken Foundation, really its goal is to provide grants to programs to train their staff to be able to deal with or to work with individuals with mental disabilities, or to help provide grants to families who are going to use those programs so that they can have, if necessary, one-on-one assistance for their son or daughter, so that they can work in those environments. Because when I worked with Mike, I took him to the grocery store. We'd work on life skills. We'd go out into public, but it would just be me and him. And it's really a much bigger benefit for kids with mental disabilities to be included in programs with non-disabled peers. Kids nowadays, Metro School is an excellent school, and that's where I worked for a while. But, kids in regular schools, they know kids with disabilities as the kids in that room down the hall, and they're not integrated with them, so that leads to some of the stigma that kids have now. So it really serves so many purposes. It helps those kids with disabilities get into to included programs, and it helps kids without disabilities, learn about, that kids with mental disabilities are not bad. They're not dirty. They're not going to hurt. They're just like them. They learn in a different way,
Now, how does someone... Very good. Go ahead. Yeah, that's exactly right. Very well said. Is there a website you set up yet, or they call Wachovia, or what can
we are in the process of, we're just in the process of getting my website set up. ClayAiken.com is actually up, but within the next week or so, we should have information on that website that'll either link people to another spot, or we'll be able to give them information letters, a place they can send correspondence so they can get information about it. It's all kind of, it really kind of worked a lot faster than I had anticipated, and I love that. But we're ahead of ourselves.
Now, I noticed you have a bodyguard.
Oh, is he back? Jerome? Hey, Jerome.
It's hard to miss him. Now, is this one of the, as you became the star, have you had those star moments, like when somebody had to tell you, you're going to need a bodyguard, and you're like, what are you talking about?
Well, it just kind of happened. When we were on the show, of course, we had people who were with us all the time. If we went out in public, Reuben can't go anywhere and not be recognized. Right. I can put on a hat for the most part, and kind of sneak around. But we had people with us on the show, and we didn't really notice it because we were in L.A., and I guess people are used to it in L.A. People are up and down the street all the time, so we'd get stopped or waved at. But I think the first time I realized that it might be necessary was I came, well, actually it was New York City, right after the show was over, and we were on like a little press tour. I went and did Regis and Kelly, and after I did Regis and Kelly, we left the studio, and a group of teenage girls chased us down the street in New York City for 7 blocks. And I finally said, okay, open the door and get what she wants me to sign, because she's going to get hit by a car. And so we finally realized that, okay, we probably need just a little bit of assistance. So Jerome takes care, and Jerome's very nice to people, and he takes care of make sure that I don't get bombarded, because sometimes you go into an airport and it's like whoosh.
You still need your time to get from, plus you have time restraints. I mean, it's like,
yeah, and I think that's the worst problem, and that's what I hate the most is, my schedule can every 5 minutes is planned. So when I leave here today, we've got to get directly to the Coliseum,
Right.
So we've got and if you sign something for one person, you got to sign it for 500 people. And I hate the fact that I can't do it for everybody, and I want to do it for everybody, especially in the position that I'm in, because I wouldn't be here if Ramona had anything to say about it. And I wouldn't. I'm kidding. It's a joke.
I told you why he wanted to come here. I told you. I said it was too good to be true, and it is.
No, I wouldn't. I mean, I wouldn't be here if it weren't for the people. I mean, for everybody who put us here. I mean, we say every night that this show belongs to the audience more than any other tour, because people specifically. I mean, you guys put me here, and I appreciate it. And that's what it's all about. We want to be able to do whatever we can, and that's why I hate it so much. If I've got to be 5 minutes till I have to be down the street and 20 people, you hate to pick one person and say, okay, I'll sign yours, and everybody else, you're just out of luck.
Now, how do you maintain friendships? How do you stay in contact with your mom? I know she means a lot to you.
Mom and I talk on the phone at least every other day, if possible. If I've got a cell signal in these podunk places that we've been before. So and Mom came out to the Chicago show. She'll be here tonight in Charlotte, and she'll probably come to one or two more. She stays just as busy as I do, really. She's on the radio in every city in the state at some point. She actually judged the Miss Illinois pageant this year. I mean, she wore the infamous red leather jacket when she judged it, and they made her get up and shake her hips. So she stays really busy too. So we have more to talk about now than we did when I did before this. That's for sure, because she's so busy with it.
And the tabloids are now taking notice. That's got to be a little scary.
It is, and the thing that scares us all the most is that throughout the show we found out, it was such a big phenomenon that the people in the tabloids, they wanted to have a story about American Idol, and we were cut off from the press. We weren't allowed to talk to the press because it wasn't really fair to promote one person more, and they would start making up stories. Like, they made up a story about Trinice and Caldwell and Corey. Just, they designed something and wrote it in there. So I think that's a little unnerving. It's one of those things that we've had to deal with, especially Ruben and I, because we've stayed in the media a little bit more. Just had to understand. I mean, for example, right now there's this far-fetched story about Ruben in the paper, which just doesn't make any sense at all. And we've just had to learn that's one of the things we're going to have to deal with and ignore. But I guess in the scheme of things, it's a small price to pay for some of the benefits that we've had.
You can start your own rumors. I mean, you can make up great ones about you.
Sometimes we do. Carmen Rasmussen really wants to start a rumor that she and I are dating. She wants so badly for us to be in the tabloids that she and I are dating. So
you got to walk out with like your coat over your head or something, and her next to you, and they don't look fishy.
We'll try. Yeah, we every once in a while. And then Kim Locke and I try to tease people every once in a while. We fake to kiss outside the buses in whatever city we were in. And it got on the internet message boards, apparently. My mother says, these people hate you. They're so mad. These girls are so upset. Stop it.
What about making the moves on the celebrity types you're hanging around with these days?
I haven't met any, really. I mean, I haven't met many celebrities. We've been so busy. I'm too busy right now to even think about it. I want to get the real world for me starts in September. So that's when we're going to start. That's when hopefully I'll be able to focus on more personal things. Like right now, I haven't had any time to. I really don't know what day it is today. I know it's Charlotte Day. That's what I don't know. Tomorrow's Atlanta Day. But I haven't had a schedule. Real World starts in September. I've got to find a place to live. Kim Locke and I are going to move in together, platonic. And
yeah, the kiss was fake. Right.
Are you thinking about doing any acting?
We're going to look into some things. Right now I've just got so many opportunities. I've just been completely blessed that doors are being opened in different places. So they're all kind of cracked, and we're just going to look and see what's best for me. There's certain things that I don't want to do. I mean, I don't want to. If I'm going to do acting, I want to make sure that I'm not compromising any of my personal beliefs, and no matter what I'm doing.
Yeah, you don't want to do one of those Justin to Kelly kind of.
Well, no, not that. That would have been fine, I guess, because I don't want to do anything that I wouldn't want my kids watching. Really, that's the most important thing to me. Ruben and I would love to do a movie together. I mean, it wouldn't be from Ruben to Clay. It wouldn't be. I don't think that would be as a big a romantic draw. But it would be something like a Abbott and Costello or a Laurel and Hardy type script, so people who didn't watch the show could enjoy it too. Mm-hmm. Just stand Ruben and I beside each other and people laugh. I mean, imagine us in a movie and we act.
Now,